What it is it's Satan's controlling the church. The church is not doing its job, and it's not adhering to the teachings of Christ, and it's not adhering to what the Word of God says we're supposed to do and how we're supposed to live. And what they're doing by saying, oh, we have to love these people and take care of these migrants and love one another. This is loving one another. Yes, we are supposed to love one another, but their definition of what love one another means destroying our laws. It means completely perverting what our Constitution says. It means taking unreal advantage of the American taxpayer. And it means pushing a globalist policy on the American people and forcing America to become something that we are not supposed to be.
Representatives of the Catholic Church are not backing down from their fight with Marjorie Taylor Greene, after she argued in an interview this week that Catholic bishops who support aiding immigrants at the US-Mexico border is evidence of, quote, Satan controlling the church. And if she thought she could keep going making insane statements in interviews with impunity, she may have finally met her match. It's the latest on the emerging feud among right and left-wing Catholics spurred by Greene's comments. Greene basically just threw a lit match on the brewing cultural civil war, not only between right and left, or even Catholics and Protestants, but within the Catholic Church itself. And although she's fanning the flames, it started a long time ago. So you probably have seen that Greene appeared in an interview on Church Militant, a far-right Catholic platform. But didn't she say some pretty terrible things about Catholicism? And didn't the interviewer kind of agree with her and goad her on? Here's where things get complicated and I think interesting, and need some context. Church Militant for years has positioned itself as one of the most outlandish partisans in the Roman Catholic Church's ongoing fight with itself. If you haven't been following that, there's a growing split between conservative and liberal Catholics, with the current Pope Francis largely symbolizing the Church's continuous, ever so slight shift left. You may have seen this rift come up on social media, with things trending like the Latin Mass. Basically, back in the early 1960s, the Catholic Church formally evolved from having Mass spoken in Latin in order for people to actually understand what was going on. And while most people appreciated this opening up of the service, many on the right saw it as heretical, and the wars within the religion have only gotten worse from there. Salon reports that Church Militant was originally founded as Real Catholic TV by former CBS News producer Michael Voris, who's interviewing Greene here, in 2008 to bring, quote, a more orthodox depiction of Mother Church than is found in pop culture fare like the Da Vinci Code. But of course, this meant that the company was straying farther and farther away from what can literally and technically be considered Catholic doctrine. The website got so outlandish with its claims that the Archdiocese of Detroit, where it's located, successfully blocked it from using the word Catholic in the outlet's name. Thus, the change to Church Militant. So now that we have that backstory, you can see why Greene saying some really heinous things about the church wouldn't offend this particular brand of Catholicism. Salon reports that in the interview, Greene showed herself willing to be party to another civil war, the one within the Catholic Church, which for most of the last decade has pitted conservative American Catholics against a pope they consider too liberal to be legitimate, as well as against much of the rest of the global church. And where is this issue most inflammatory in the interview? With regards to immigration. Michael Voris basically goaded Greene into these issues, which she then happily responded to, and they specifically lambasted relief organizations like Catholic Relief Services.
As Washington debates policy, we continue our in-depth look at immigration. Our Lauren Ashburn is visiting a Mexico City shelter supported by Catholic Relief Services. The group is putting into action the Holy Father's call for empathy towards migrants and refugees,
which helps immigrants at the southern border and has become a lightning rod for conservative Catholic ire. Greene argued that those organizations are satanic because the U.S. government should cut off all and any aid to Central American countries until they force back any citizens who have migrated here. Her reasoning is unsurprisingly idiotic, saying that these Catholics misinterpret the word of the Bible because it contradicts the U.S. Constitution. She says, quote, we are supposed to love one another, but their definition of what love one another means completely is perverting what our Constitution Constitution says. It means taking unreal advantage of the American taxpayer, and it means pushing a globalist policy on the American people and forcing America to become something that we are not supposed to be. Little does she know that the concept of, oh, America, or even a constitutional democracy, obviously can be found nowhere near the Bible. And to bring up taxes is especially ironic, considering one of the disciples quite literally repudiated his past as a tax collector upon hearing the word of God. This whole interview is completely bananas, and it's truly frustrating that she holds one of the most powerful offices in the land and can't even wrap her head around the central tenet not just of Catholicism, but Christianity and a lot of religions. Love thy neighbor unconditionally. Greene is complicating a simple message to serve her own selfish, racist, and classist self-image and committing the worst type of misdeed, intentionally perverting a message of love into one of hate. Thanks so much for watching. You can follow me on all platforms at Caro Johnson 917.